Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bloomer College Football News. I am your host, Diego Longhammer. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start in the Royal Conference. Top team of the week is Ole Miss. They are 3-0. Next games we're looking at UCLA and Texas. Texas has been on a hot streak lately. Could be looking to get exposed here. My personal opinion of that, Judkins is a phenomenal player. I just don't know if Texas is going to really have a game plan for that. Xavier Worthy, though, keep an eye on him. He's been having some hot games, very hot games. Going over to the Royal West, we got UCS and Oregon taking charge. Now, UCS is not really a surprising factor. Trent, went to the Natter Day last year, played against Chuck Herrick, obviously lost, but we don't really need to touch about that. What we do need to touch about is Oregon. Now, folks, coming from my personal perspective and professional opinion, Oregon I don't see as a threat. Their game just has not impressed me at all. I mean, if you look at their wins, their strength of opponents, it just doesn't fall in the line. I think USC is going to be taking that division home easy. Going over, we're going to take a look at Oregon State and what is Paul Schumacher doing right now? DJ Ooga Booga Ooga throwing 9 picks, 85-0 in the loss to Clemson. Coach Mining came in and he wanted to send a message to Oregon State saying, hey, this is my league. It's my time. I'm running this. And to be honest, Father of the Year award. Holy cow. I would expect a postcard in the mail from Paul Schumacher to go into flight there. Oh, my goodness. Other news, Coach Crane getting his first win over Wisconsin and Tennessee. Congratulations. This is a big step up from last year. We love to see that. Crane on a hot streak. Let's hope he can continue to carry on this hot streak over into his next week win. Big division matchup of the week is Ole Miss at Texas. My final prediction score, Ole Miss 75, Texas 56. Xavier Worthy is going to have 200 receiving yards, and Judkins is going to have 250 rushing yards. Moving on to the legend, Michigan is running away with the division. Now, Michigan has been sort of the scapegoat of the league. Everyone's kind of pointing fingers saying, hey, we got to stop these guys. I love Michigan's game. Hey, Blake Corum, I don't know how he's not running up for Heisman right now. You go over, look at the gambling man. He's not talking about him at all. I mean, he's calling him a liberal snowflake. I think the gambling man needs to be humbled. Somebody needs to go put him in his place and just tell him, like, hey, man, Blake Corum, he's going to be the Heisman winner. I mean, he's averaging, almost 1,000 yards a game. That's insane. J.J. McCarthy, he's got J.J. McCarthy backing him up too, throwing that rock, slinging that rock. I mean, come on, folks. It's not rocket science here. It's not. Wisconsin and Michigan State, who is going to make the Hawaii Bowl? Now, folks, I don't think it's talked about how bad Michigan State is. I mean, they just really have not done a whole lot to impress me. They did knock out a win against Ohio State, but Ohio State still managed to keep that plus 500 record. And I mean, Coach Kale, I don't think Coach Kale gets enough credit. He has some incredible play calls, some amazing reads. He just makes his decision-making and thought process just needs a little more time. Other than that, I think Michigan State is the lock for the Hawaii Bowl. Him and Oregon State. Yikes. Drake May, front runner for the Heisman again. Now, the Heisman committee, everyone needs to be fired. Everyone knows that it should be Blake Corum. Blake Corum is leading the league in rushing yards. He's having an amazing, astounding season. Unlike anything we've ever seen in NCAA history. But, of course, the league and the commissioner just love to just meat ride Blake Corum so much, and UNC for that matter. You know what? We need to talk about UNC a little bit here. Most overrated Mickey Mouse team of there. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Great team, but a Natter Day? No. There's just a lot more competition in there. I don't see them beating Colorado in the playoffs if they make it. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Game to watch, Clemson at North Carolina coming up here. That'll be a big game. Both teams looking to make a statement in their division. You want to know who I'm picking in that game? I just rambled on about North Carolina. I just don't think they have it in them to beat Clemson. Clemson coming off a huge win against Paul Schumacher. 85 points. Ugh, wow. Playoff picture looking like UNC leads. Texas fills last spot so far, and, I think that'll change. Texas, not an impressive team at all. I think we're going to see a team like maybe LSU. Who knows? Maybe Colorado will come back and win that. We don't really know, but just not really an impressive team all around. Xavier Worthy's great, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Coach Gramble, he's an okay coach, but I mean, if you look at some of the other players or other coaches in the league, the talent is just it's just clear that there's just way more talent around. Plenty of season left. Things can get crazy here. We're hoping to see. Colorado's looking to find a playoff spot. Unknown if they are. LSU fighting for that playoff spot. Washington needs a playoff spot. USC and UNC getting their rematch in, and I don't think UNC won that. I think USC lost that game. Trent made a lot of mistakes in that game, but he still made it a competitive ball game, and that's very important. That's a statement for him right there, because it just shows that he's coming, and when he comes, he's gonna come hard. Going over Washington State and Oregon State, two of the worst teams in the league, and they're in the same division. Yikes. That just shows no competition in their conference whatsoever. It's just a free playoff spot at that point. Ooh. All right, and to wrap things up here, we're going to go a little bit in depth to the Gambling Man. The Gambling Man places a $20 million bounty on Coach Prime Booger's head. Now, I don't know. I don't get the thought process behind that. It was Coach Booger has been talking about the Rose Bowl and how Gambling Man predicted it was him. It was UNC and Colorado. He shouldn't be getting mad at that. He's soft. The Gambling Man is so soft. He cannot take constructive criticism, and his picks are not good. He's got to be a fraud. There's no way he has the money to be making these bets. I mean, let's just look at this right here. Week 1, Shedeur Sanders picking up the loss against Oregon State. Absolutely abysmal pick. What is the thought process behind that? He just clearly isn't familiar with the game of football. He does not know ball. It's sad, really. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, honestly. And he needs to be called out on it. He needs to be banned from the league, banned from making any bets, banned from sportsbook.com. It's ridiculous until he learns a sense of morality and a sense of respect for the other coaches and other players around the league. Blake Corum, absolutely no. He's short bus of the week. What's going on with that? Why can't you just have respect for the players in the game? Honestly, it's because he's got no respect for himself. That's why. Honestly, I'm sorry. A little tangent there. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Bloomer College Football News.